Hey guys, welcome to Treadmill Review Guru. I'm Sydney, and today we're reviewing the Concept2 BikeERG. This is Concept2's latest addition to their rowers and their SkiERG, but how does the BikeERG perform and who is it best for? I'm going to go over everything that you need to know in this review, so stay tuned. All right, let's jump in and check out the construction on the Concept2 BikeERG. Overall, Concept2 creates easy-to-use, durable fitness equipment, and the BikeERG is just that. We consider it to be a hybrid bike. It's not quite like a traditional air bike. It's also not quite like a traditional indoor cycling bike. And as you can see, it also doesn't look quite like either of those machines. As far as who we recommend it for, if you love Concept2, maybe you have the rower, the SkiERG, the BikeERG is kind of the bike version of those equipment. You can expect it to be durable, high quality. It's also low maintenance, so if you're looking for cardio equipment in general that checks those boxes, the BikeERG is it. It's also great for cyclists, especially if you want a large amount of resistance to pedal against, and you can also find it in CrossFit gyms, so it's definitely super versatile. As it's laid out like this, for floor space, it is 48 inches long and 24 inches wide, and it supports up to 300 pounds of user weight. The frame is made of aluminum and it's lightweight. It's only about 68 pounds, so it's significantly lighter than a lot of air bikes and indoor cycling bikes. You can move it around pretty easily. You can lift up the back stabilizer that engages those front transportation wheels. And those wheels are actually pretty large, so you can move it around pretty easily. We'll say this is probably one of the easier bikes that we have in our studio at the moment to move around. What makes this an air bike is that the flywheel is a fan. So inside here are fan blades that when you start pedaling, those fan blades start moving and air gets sucked in to create resistance to pedal against. So with air bikes, they give you an unlimited amount of resistance to pedal against. So like I said, if you're a strong cyclist, want something that you can't out-pedal, that is where this bike really shines. Also, you can control the amount of airflow that goes into the fan with the damper. So that's on the side here. And there's setting 1. Kind of feels like you're on like a flatter road. It's a little bit lighter. It allows less air to be sucked into the flywheel. And then level 10, which is the highest, feels like you're going up a steep hill. You can also control the amount of tension that's felt with your intensity. So if you're pedaling at like a lighter to moderate pace, and then you pick up your pace and go maybe into a harder or faster pace like a sprint, you're going to feel more resistance. So the harder you work, the more resistance that's going to be felt. So your workout's just going to get that much harder for you. And that's what makes this a great high intensity, low impact cardio workout. And with that damper, we do wish that it was placed maybe where you can adjust it up on the handlebars or on the console. You have to reach down every time. So I'm able to reach it just fine, but maybe for a future model, just make it a little bit more easier to adjust if it was somewhere up here. Also, when you are pedaling with that air resistance, there are vents here that blow back air at you. We do wish that it had even just a removable wind guard, so you could place that there to kind of choose when you can feel the breeze or not. There's a lot of air bikes, like assault bikes, that have wind guards that you can place. So like if you're working out in a cold gym and you're trying to get warmed up and you're feeling that air, you can just stick that on to be able to remove the airflow. So that would be nice to see in a future model. Also, it does make a little bit of noise, so this isn't like a magnetic spin bike that is practically silent. So you are going to hear some noise, and I'll let you listen to it in the functionality section. So might not be best for like apartments and shared spaces. However, unlike magnetic resistance bikes that have that max resistance, that you get to the highest level, like 100 on like the Bowflex bikes, that's it. With this, you can keep going and you get unlimited, really, amounts of resistance. What makes this different than your typical air bikes is that the handlebars don't move. So on an air bike, they give you an upper body workout when you're moving those handles and when you're pedaling. For a total body workout, for the Concept2, primarily works your lower body. So a lot of people describe it as like a burning sensation in your legs when you're pedaling, and we can definitely attest to that. With these handles, they're a little bit more like an indoor cycling bike or even a road bike when you're riding outside. And the handles offer different grip options. They're textured. I like that they have the drop-down handles here. Also with the seat, it's narrow, it's lightly padded, so you can ride this bike for long periods of time. Also, it sits you a little bit more in a cycling position. What does make this a little bit different than your indoor cycling bike as far as when you're pedaling is that the flywheel has a clutch. So when you're pedaling, you can stop pedaling and the fan blades will keep moving. So it feels a little bit different when you're using it, and I'm going to demonstrate that in the functionality section. Back to the saddle, I will say that it is not the most comfortable. However, you can swap it out, and indoor cycling bikes tend to not have the most comfortable saddles anyways, but if you find it like particularly uncomfortable, you can swap it out with a different one. You can also swap out the pedals. So these are just flat metal pedals. They're textured, so you can use them with any type of athletic shoe. I'd say if you're an avid cyclist, I'd definitely swap them out so you can clip in with cycling shoes. You can also purchase a little clip that goes over the toe of your shoe to be able to give you a little bit more stability. They're not quite like a full-on toe cage because they just clip really just over the kind of tip part of your shoe, but that will give you just a little bit more stability if you're standing. However, these metal pedals, we didn't have any problems. The BikeERG does have 4 adjustment points, so it can fit a wide range of users. I'm 5'1", I'm our shortest reviewer, and our tallest reviewer is 6'5", and we're all able to get pretty good bike fits on the BikeERG. The saddle moves up and down. I measured the leg span, which is from the top of the saddle to the top of the lowest pedal. When the saddle's at the lowest, it's about 29.5 inches, and when it's raised all the way up to the highest setting, it's about 39 inches, so that's your inseam. Also, adjusting the saddle and the handles is really easily. You can just lift it up, and there's this little knob that puts it in place, or you can push it down. So it's kind of one of the easier bikes, I think, to adjust. Sometimes with those crank handles, they can get either a little bit too tight, or it can just be a little bit harder to pull up and push down to adjust the seat and the handles. The seat does move forward and back, but you will need to use your own wrench to do that, so it's not necessarily practical if you're like in the middle of a ride. It adjusts just minimally really forward and back. It also adjusts the angle of the saddle. However, when I measured the reach, so from the nose of the saddle to the base of the handles, when the handles are all the way forward and all the way back, it's about a 7-inch range. So you have a huge amount to be able to work with. Like, I don't even have the handles all the way back, so I can pull them all the way back. For me, I don't even need them all the way back, and I don't need the saddle all the way down. I'm on, I think, notch 3, and our tallest reviewer isn't on the highest setting, so I'm sure users maybe an inch or 2 taller and shorter than that range should be able to get a good bike fit. And with the amount of range that the handles move forward and back, you probably won't really need to adjust the saddle forward and back. And Concept2 covers the BikeERG with a 5-year warranty for the frame and a 2-year warranty for parts. All right, so if you're familiar with the Concept2 rower or the SkiERG, you're going to recognize this console. This is the PM5 monitor. It's really similar to those machines. It's just been updated to show cycling metrics. So up here, when you start pedaling, it will turn on. It's battery powered. It's also backlit, so you don't have to worry about being next to a plug. And also it lights up so you can see it like in lower lighting. It shows metrics like your time, your pace, which is how fast you're going per 1,000 meters, your distance in meters, your RPMs. You can also change to see more metrics. There's also the option, just like on the rower, that there's the pace boat, where here you have the pace bike. You can set to try to keep up with the rider down here to help you keep up a certain pace when you're riding. So this will show your watt output. You can also change to see like your watt output, your calories, your distance, and all of that. So you have a lot of options with the PM5 monitor. You can also go in, here's the main menu, so you can just choose just ride. It'll take you to that screen to show you all your metrics. You can go in, select a different workout. You can create custom workouts based on different goals, like per distances. You can also create different, create different intervals. So you have a lot of customization and a lot of metrics tracking with this. You can also connect to like the ERG data app to be able to see all of your metrics in the app. You can use the ERG race app to compete with others online that have the PM5 monitor and the BikeERG. So you have a lot of different options. It's going to save everything. You can also save everything to a USB drive to be able to save all your workouts and track everything really well. So even though this is a pretty simple console, it has a lot of connectability. It's Bluetooth enabled, so as you connect to those apps that I mentioned on your device, you can also connect to apps like Zwift. So like when I'm using Zwift, you can place it on the tablet holder here. So this will adjust to fit your phone. You can also expand it out because it adjusts to fit a larger tablet. So you have a lot of options. Also, like say you're wanting just an indoor cycling experience, you want to maybe stream whatever show or maybe a trainer-led class, you can put it up here and be able to see everything clearly. This holds your device in place. And with this console, it also adjusts, so you can adjust it to be a little bit closer, a little bit further away. Has a lot of adjustability that way. The PM5 monitor, I mean, really you can go on the Concept2 website and be able to see all the different things that you can connect to and really utilize this console. And with the BikeERG, there really isn't any storage besides the device rack. You can purchase a water bottle holder that clips up here on the handlebars. I think it's only about $5, so you have that option there, but otherwise it doesn't come with a water bottle holder, so just something to keep in mind with that. But it's nice that it has the device rack, and it's really nice that you don't have to plug it in, and especially if you're already familiar with Concept2 and the PM5 monitor, this is what you expect from it, and overall it's easy to use, especially with these buttons on the side. All right, so now I'm going to let you see and hear how the BikeERG performs, but first, if you find this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. It helps our channel out, and we want to keep creating reviews like this for you at home so you can make an informed buying decision and you know how equipment performs before you bring it home. So with the Concept2, I'm just going to start, I'm going to let you listen to it, let you listen to that fan. I'm on the lowest setting, so setting 1 on the damper. I'm just going to start pedaling. This is a little bit more like moderate pace. I'm at about 65 RPMs. If I increase that, so even though I'm at setting 1, if I increase that, if I increase my RPMs, the fan's going to get louder. The resistance is also going to be harder to pedal against. Also, as you can see, I stopped pedaling. Those fan blades still keep going. Now I'm going to turn it up to 5 so you can listen to that. And here is level 10, which is the highest setting on the damper. Back it down a little bit. So it does make some noise because it is an air bike after all. However, it does have a polygroove self-tensioning belts on the inside that connect the pedals to the fan blades. So it does actually make this quieter than like assault bikes that use a chain drive system. It also requires little to no maintenance, where with chain drives you have to worry about lubricating them, tightening the chain. So this is a really nice addition. It also makes that pedal stroke feel really smooth and consistent. I will say, as far as indoor cycling, there's a little bit of a learning curve. I think it's largely due to the clutch, because when you stop pedaling, the fan blade will still keep going. Also, when you're standing is where I think the learning curve kind of comes into place. So there are times where if I stay like at a consistent cadence, say right now I'm at about 50 RPMs, and I were to stand, you get what's called like dead air, where the pedal stroke can feel, or if I slow down, the pedal stroke can feel a little bit inconsistent. So for me to stand comfortably, I have to either increase my pace or increase the setting on the damper. So here I'm at around 50 RPMs. I'm going to increase it when I rise. This just gives me more stability to be able to pedal against, a little bit more balance. So that's just something, as far as me coming from an indoor cycling background, noticing the difference there. But it really, once you kind of think about, I think about now standing on this bike as those are my intense pushes, whether I'm going up a hill or I am just wanting to increase my pace. I do that standing, so I just think about it a little bit differently than on other indoor cycling bikes. But overall, bike is comfortable, durable, low maintenance, and it's kind of everything that we expect from Concept2. Here's Matthew. He is 6'5". Here he is using the BikeERG on the damper setting 1. Setting 5. And setting 10. Thanks for watching our review of the Concept2 BikeERG. Some things that we really like is that the flywheel is a fan and it offers unlimited amount of resistance to pedal against. The frame is lightweight yet super durable. It has 4 adjustment points, so it can work for a wide range of users, plus it supports up to 300 pounds of user weight. The console is the PM5 monitor that you can find on the Concept2 rowers and the SkiERG, so it's compatible with apps like Zwift and also the ERG Data app. And the BikeERG can be found in CrossFit gyms. It also appeals to indoor cyclists, and it gives you a high-intensity, low-impact cardio workout. Some things to keep in mind is that since the flywheel is a fan, it does create noise when you're pedaling, so it's not going to be best in like shared spaces. Also, with that wind resistance, you do get a breeze that blows back at you, so we wish that there was a removable wind guard that you can kind of choose if you want to feel the breeze or not. And on the flywheel, there's a damper that works as gearing for the bike, so you can control kind of the amount of air that goes in to the flywheel and the amount of resistance that's felt. You do unfortunately have to reach down to be able to adjust that, so we wish that maybe in a future model this was available either on the handlebars or on the console. But overall, like other Concept2 equipment, this is a quality, durable piece of high-intensity cardio equipment. And if you want to learn more about the Concept2 BikeERG, you can head to treadmillreviewguru.com. We have a full written review there. You can check the link in our description for the current price. And if you like this video and find it helpful, give it a like and subscribe to our channel. We create reviews like this for you so you can make informed buying decisions. I'm Sydney with Treadmill Review Guru. I'll see you next time.